Okay, so last time the three of you took a pit stop at Twin Blessings Village and helped to eliminate a small, mischievous kappa from eating the village's horses. And were quite successful. And in the ensuing revels, Seimei got drunk with some kitsune.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Today, the three of you have set out in the early morning and have ridden the remainder of the trip towards a small castle in the southern tip of Lion Lands. The forested area around the capital has given way to sort of rolling hills, and now you're in just vast open plains. Tall grass, roads cut through them. You can see villages, distant, pretty distant, from a good distance away as you pass. But it takes you about 5 or 6 hours. You get stopped on the border of Lion Lands and are forced to show your travel papers, which you have, seeing as all of you are magistrates, allowed to travel the Emperor's roads with impunity, to do what you will. And you find yourselves looking ahead in the near distance at a modest castle rising above the plains. You know this as Two Battles Castle.
And is this the home of Kitsu Kinji?
It is.
You?
There is a small village surrounding castle, as is typical of Rokugani city planning. And even though it is in the distance, can't really make out much. The sun is beginning to hang low. It's not quite dusk yet, but it's late afternoon. What do you do?
We've let him know that we're coming, right? With my letter?
Yes.
Okay. So we can roll up without being rude, if we want.
Don't we need to bring some kind of gift or something for this guy?
Don't you?
Most likely, yeah.
Could we have planned ahead with a gift?
Could you have planned ahead with a gift?
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like if you had the foresight to to write a letter, then
That's not true. She was just very excited to write a letter.
Shh. Totally true. Very foresightful. I bring him this opium. It's very fancy.
Oh no.
Was that liquor from the from where we came from crappy liquor or pretty good?
Yes.
Oh,
Can I bring him some nice tea?
I suppose you can.
Okay, I'm gonna bring him some nice tea.
I mean, the fine art of Rokugani gift giving is knowing who your guest is and being able to find something that is appealing to your guest, but also not something that they need. Because if you present a daimyo with something that he needs.
Mhm.
It's presuming that he can't take care of himself or his samurai. So there's a fine line. There's an art to gift giving. That's why the Crane have a whole card in the RPG based on that. Or not the RPG, the card game.
Well, I'm bringing this guy, this delightful scorpion, to come keep him company.
He definitely doesn't need me. Clever. I'm going to give him this riddle that failed a fucking Kappa.
That's funny.
What's Takuma bringing? I wonder.
Let's see. I guess this is a Kitsu, but I don't know if I have any kind of shit. Any kind of like a trying to think of what a Kitsu would like. Candles, incense.
These are your people, Dan.
Not right now. They're not. They're like
Kinda.
spirits and stuff. So I guess I would. I don't know. I would probably see if I have any kind of like it's like a ceremonial sword or something I could bring them.
Okay.
What would we know about the Kitsu? Like, I can't remember jack shit about them. Like, so what would?
You can roll a government check if you'd like.
Government.
I guess. Hang on. Uh-oh. Andrew is forgetting what skills exist in this game compared to the other one. Is culture a skill? Look on your sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Roll that instead.
I ain't got no culture.
An uncultured scorpion? You don't say.
So I guess we're gonna just roll my rings.
Yep. It would be recall. How's that looking?
That sigh.
I just raised it to 2, buddy.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, well, it is a TN2.
Let's see.
Can I roll it too?
Sure.
Rings are the D6 or the D12,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, sir. If you want, you can spend a void point to give yourself a temporary rank in the skill.
Oh, I'm not helping. I'm bringing some nice strong tea because lions are strong.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I better fucking spend a void point.
Nice traditional strong tea. Dice.
Wow, Sam, eh? You gonna keep your splody dice?
Mm-hmm.
Roll your splody dice. Okay. Well, 2 successes are enough. So, what Seimei knows is that the Kitsu family of the Lion Clan tend to be the family that has the highest number of Shugenja for the clan. They are a family that is steeped in the ancestor worship that the lion tend to engage in more than most clans. Yeah.
Then my riddle should be appropriate, I would think.
They are the least aggressive of all the families.
Well, that's good to know.
You're suddenly very thankful that you are not going to Amatsu Castle.
We can just let the fucking Maho user stay there. That's fine.
So that's what you know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go introduce ourselves. See if I can find my fucking riddle that I got the last time. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go introduce ourselves.
Okay. So as you make your way up the road towards the castle, as you near the outer edge of the village, you find a sort of a low wall around the outside village. There are no, there's not like a Barakuman village outside of the main peasant village. It's the front of the city is completely clear, open lines of sight, and there's a trench running the length of the wall, a defensive measure. Takuma knows this for sure. It's a defensive barrier. Lion tend to have very warlike mentalities in terms of building their villages, same as the crab. Although Takuma would also know that they are nowhere in the league of the crab when it comes to defensive fortifications.
Of course not.
This is a pale comparison, but the lion only pay lip service to defense, so they are more of a go and get them sort of clan. So as you pass over the bridge leading in through the gate into the main city, you notice that there are no guards posted in front of the doors, which all of you would find to be very, very odd. There are people. You can see there are peasants going about their business, but there doesn't seem to be a military presence.
I have a
You don't
bad
see-
feeling like this.
You don't see any sentries posted on the wall.
All 4 successes went to waste because he's dead.
I'm just gonna scoff at seeing this pathetic attempt at having a defensive rampart.
So Samei's gonna look at this and then look to Takuma and kind of give him a questioning glance. Like, I feel like y'all know better. Are they just that confident?
Perhaps they're just ignorant to the evils of the world.
It almost seems like an open invitation to conflict.
They don't
That
have to
seems
invite me.
a little cynical. They don't have to invite me. She changes her mind about whether that's a good comment. Never mind. Good luck, guys.
They were
Where-
expecting Sayaka. So
Whereas the crab are the epitome of defense, everyone knows that the Lion do not need invitations to start fights.
What I mean is that it's just like if you want these hands, come and get it, type of thing.
However,
mean?
all of you know that no city that has a castle, right? Like that has a garrison is going to have 0 sentries at the gates or on the walls. All of you, that's very strange. You've never seen that.
And what is the state of the? I guess the village, like the people, like they don't seem concerned.
They, as you guys make your way into the village proper, they give you a wide berth. Clearly, you're all Great Clan samurai, but they don't look particularly out of sorts. You might need to interact with them if you want to get that sort of answer. But they don't look panicked. They don't look like anything's amiss.
I would like to go find someone to talk to.
What kind of someone?
Someone who looks like they won't freak out too much when they see us. Someone well dressed.
Talking about a peasant? You're gonna go find a samurai.
What's the odds that I can find a samurai?
I don't know. You have to look.
I'll just I'll look for a nearby peasant, unless I see a nearby samurai.
You don't see any.
Okay. In that case, I would like to pull someone aside.
Okay.
And say, is it a feast day? Are there rituals that are taking the attention of your garrison?
The peasant looks mildly confused, and he says, "No, no festivals."
Thank you.
He bows and goes about his business.
She glances back the other two.
So no festival or rites being conducted. Okay.
It definitely doesn't look like there's a festival happening.
Looks like this is a very friendly place. Peaceful. Surprisingly peaceful. They must have got my letter. She doesn't say that.
Okay. So convinced by your letter that they just removed the whole garrison and
We don't need this. There's this nice lady coming.
Signs posted leading right directly to the Lord here, and he even has gifts laid out for us to give to him. So I guess we'll go hitch our horses and
Ponies, Vaughn. We have ponies.
ponies, right?
Good call.
Yeah, can we go riding straight up to the castle?
So the main thoroughfare through which you came into the village leads directly into the inner gates of the castle courtyard. Probably about 1,000 yards or so. It's a fairly large town. As you make your way through the village itself, again, nothing really stands out. People are just sort of going about their business. You all can roll a government check if you would like.
Oh, yes. Yes, I can.
See, getting used out of that 1 point already.
I can use this
I have
government.
no government, so therefore I will not roll.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Can I analyze
Sure.
or theorize?
You can analyze. Analyze seems good.
I'm going to survey to... I'm not quite sure what we're rolling for. But if it's clues from the surrounding environment, I'm going to survey.
Okay.
2. Man, the dice are not my friends today.
It is only a T&1.
Oh, that's good. I have 1.
I got 2, and I'm going to use my opportunities to roll both my strife.
I get to keep 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have success and an opportunity.
Okay. So, both of you, while maybe not familiar with the doings of the Kitsu family as a whole, you do know quite a bit about how the Lion organized their peasantry and things like that. They tend to keep standing forces of Ashigaru, which are peasants that are armed to fight, as sort of just fodder foot soldiers. They're trained, so they're not worthless as such. They're not samurai when it comes to battle ability, but Ashigaru make up the bulk of most armies that fight in Rokugan. Every clan makes use of them. But only the Lion keeps standing forces of them, like kind of professional peasant armies.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
There are no Ashigaru around. You see none.
Huh. Kitsu Kinji is running things in very unusual fashion.
This is quite strange indeed.
Unless he's just simply not at home and has taken his attentions elsewhere.
The Lion currently are engaged in 2 conflicts currently with the Crane and the Unicorn simultaneously. So
he might have ridden all the way out here for nothing.
I would still think you would leave some for defense. But
At least put someone in a uniform and stand him up the gate, you mean?
at least.
Can we expect to have lodgings at the castle, or should we be arranging our own lodgings here?
you can expect to have lodgings at the castle.
Okay.
As honorable magistrates.
We could stop for lunch and ask for gossip.
Are you
Sounds
stopping
good to
for
me.
lunch and asking for gossip, or are you going straight to the castle?
She is asking her traveling party what they're interested in.
Which sounds good.
The
Don't you?
proper thing to do would be to immediately announce yourself to the daimyo.
In that case, we're not stopping for lunch. Get back on your pony. Just Just kidding.
But Sayaka.
So you guys are basically en route as you made the or as you notice that you don't see any standing Ashigaru. Whenever you pass through the gates to the castle, the scene is quite a bit different. What you notice is that there are samurai wandering around aimlessly. They look dazed. They don't take any notice of you. They're dragging their spears on the ground.
Wow.
Bumping into walls.
Oh.
Haha, this is time. Sammy raises a sword. Let's attack!
Sayaka's like picking her nose. What?
Claiming this land for Scorpion.
Typical Scorpion.
What's my check for fuckery, right? Hang on. Commune with spirits. I was looking that up. That's why I had that typed in there. What page is that on? Oh, for fuck's sake. Wait, go back. No. There we go. Okay. I would like to commune with spirits.
Mm-hmm.
To try to see if I can figure out why these people are so fucked up.
Okay.
I am going to commune with the air spirits here. Can I commune with void spirits here?
There aren't void spirits
Okay.
in that sense.
Okay. I'll go ahead and speak to the air spirits then. So where did I just had it? So TN1 theology check. Oh man, I have so many dice. I've heard it before. Oh, stop. Okay. And I get to keep 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to keep the success and the explosive success with the strife.
Mm-hmm.
So can I keep that one as well so then I have 3 successes?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark your strife.
Yes.
So
sorry, go ahead.
You perform your ritual and attempt to commune with the air spirits, and the only thing that you can tell is that they, even though you are invoking them, they do not stop to speak with you. They are in a sort of locked in a current flowing through the castle's walls, and they seem very agitated.
She passes this information on to her party members, though little good it will probably do them. Be wary, is all. Something strange is going on here.
Agitated?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like what we encountered at Slow Tide Harbor?
No, I don't think so.
Any way I can roll medicine on one of these samurai?
Sure.
Out of character, it's been a while. I don't think I remember spiritual agitation like that at Slow Tide Harbor, do I?
It was just like the one dude with who was afflicted by some kind of maho, right?
Yes.
But he was agitated, not the spirits.
Yeah, you're sensing different things too. You are specifically invoking air spirits here.
Uh-huh.
You're not looking for Maho.
Sure. Because I don't have a way to look for Maho, right?
Not as such.
Okay.
Would you say analyze or theorize?
Probably gonna have to analyze. It's hard to get a medical reading on somebody without, getting close. To have a good idea of what you might be theorizing about. Also, in order to do that, you are going to have to get close to one of them.
Yeah, Samuel will do that.
All right.
Let's see. So 2.
The TN2.
9. I keep my rings, right?
Yeah, you only keep one dice.
I can only keep one?
Yes.
Oh, so
If
you only
it's-
keep your skill?
You keep your ring. You roll 1d6.
Oh, the rings are D6s, right?
Yes.
Ah, shit. I've been doing this backwards.
So a success and explosive success.
Yeah.
Where do you roll your 6? So you don't have to keep that 3 if you don't want to. So 2 successes
I mean,
in strife, or is that an advantage?
So either way, yeah, I won't keep the 3.
Well, the 3's an opportunity, right? Yeah. So it'd be 2 successes and no strife if you cancel with the opportunity, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the 3's free.
There we go.
Okay. So as you get close, you go to analyze one of the samurai, and as you sort of like reach out to get their attention and kind of tug on one of their shoulders, the samurai's arm falls off as you grab it.
Oh,
just-
no.
Comes
Whoa.
away. It just comes away in your hand, and you're holding
Oh.
severed
Look
limb.
what you did.
Whoa.
I guess you can give that to him as a gift. Hey, I brought you this.
The samurai falls to his knees and hits the ground.
Disgusting.
It's your first time killing a man, Sammy.
You know what? You deserve a hand for that compliment.
Oh, no.
It may stop laughing real fast. You're going to accrue 2 strife
For pulling off that man's arm?
for the entire experience. Your medicine, your training in medicine tells you that this man is dead.
So you give me strife for that?
For handling a bit of somebody, yes.
Man.
Your training in medicine tells you this man is dead, which would certainly explain his confusion.
He doesn't look outward. That's the thing, though. He doesn't look rotten.
Well, before we go in, I would like to take a moment to do some cleansing here because this is not okay.
Sammy's gonna pull out a water skin, just douse his fingers in it. Just, ugh.
Okay, so if I spend a void point, it gives me an extra dot in a skill or an extra... My cleansing rite is a TN3, and my void is a... I only have 2 dots, so I only get to keep 2.
It gives you an extra skill dice.
Okay. I think because I probably only want to do this once, I'm going to wait to do the cleansing rite, but until we have investigated a little bit further.
Makes sense.
She's going to tell her party mates that too. This place obviously needs to be cleansed, but it's strange that the village hasn't noticed that everything is extremely wrong in here.
Yeah, I guess we need to go check on the Lord. Hopefully-
Don't touch anybody else.
Hopefully they aren't in the same condition.
Indeed.
As you sort of turn and make your way to the inner fortress, from the passage leading further into the castle, a retinue of 6 samurai clad in lined colors makes their way out. All of them in varying degrees of unwellness.
Oh no.
Some of them are just sort of retching on their feet and vomiting blood. Others are just sort of confused and dazed. None of them look dead.
If they're not dead, it seems like they will be relatively soon.
I think maybe now is the time to use that cleansing rite I didn't use 5 minutes ago. There's how many of them?
6.
Oh, that's
you know that a cleansing rite is not going to fix this.
okay.
This is a very large scale grossness.
I think we should probably go back outside and write a letter.
Of course, the solution.
In between this retinue of samurai comes a man that you would assume to be the lord of the castle. He is dressed much more finely than the rest, and
Vomiting bonbons.
no. He has a very placid expression on his face, and he's not looking at you. He's sort of looking beyond you, and says, "Welcome to my castle, honored magistrates."
What is it?
I've been expecting you.
That seems awful. She doesn't say that. but she thinks it.
I hope we're not coming at a bad time. I'm sorry. I don't.
Your arrival is most auspicious. Please come. And he turns and begins to bob and weave his way back into the fortress. Which suddenly looks much more foreboding.
Uh-huh.
How you've been doing these days, Lord Kitsu?
He hasn't stopped to talk to you. He has basically turned and made his way back inside, expecting for you to follow.
Just gonna put a very light hand on Seime's arm. Like, are we going in there?
Fuck yeah.
She looks at Takuma. Are we going in there with him?
I'll be right back. I gotta step away here a second.
I'm just gonna have my hand very close to my weapons as we progress forward. I feel like I'll motion to Sayaka that we are in fact going to continue forward. Yeah.
So you dodge the puddles of bloody vomit and make your way into the first bulwark of the castle. You all know that the Rokugani castles tend to be built with very windy interior walls leading to the keep itself to provide more places to murder a whole bunch of soldiers. Eventually, though, you do come into the main courtyard of the castle itself, and Kenji stops and turns and faces the three of you, and he says, "Thank you for coming. To what do I owe the honor of the Emperor's magistrates?"
I hope you received my letter, my lord.
I hope so as well. He smiles blankly.
She smiles blankly back at him. His cousin is the one that we're looking for.
Sister.
Oh, sister. Okay, I had him down as a distant cousin.
Oh, he is. Yes, he is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
He is Kitsu
was-
Sakori's.
He was passed. She was passed over by her father
Okay.
to a distant cousin.
And this is the distant cousin, right?
Yes.
Okay. We were hoping perhaps you'd seen your cousin Kitsu Sakori recently.
Come, I would like to show you something.
First, can we offer you
Please.
a token of our...
Come.
Oh, I was afraid of that.
Show you. I'm very proud.
She rolls her eyes at Takuma like a spooked horse. This sounds like a terrible idea. We're all going to die. Says her polite smile.
Can I take a look around and just see what else is going on in this courtyard right now?
Sure. The courtyard itself is actually, other than these 6 samurai and the lord, completely empty. There are no servants. There's no coming to there. Like there's no one going to and fro. There's no sentries. There's no soldiers. Nothing. It's empty. There's no animals. There's no birds. Nothing. It is as quiet a castle courtyard as you have ever seen. And you live with the crowd, who are notoriously very not boisterous when it comes to going about their tasks.
Hmm.
The Lord himself has turned, and he's sort of making his way around the castle proper, down a covered passage. Hasn't gone into the castle itself.
Sorry, what did I miss?
He wants to show us something. He's going deeper into the castle and would like us to follow him.
He's not going into the castle, he's going around the castle.
Oh.
I think as long as we're not going in, I'm okay with continuing and following him. But I'm still on edge right now. Just waiting for some kind of thing with a flesh to smash.
Seems legit. Sayaka tucks both of her hands into her sleeves. And smiles politely and goes to follow him.
Guess I'll follow for right now.
Okay, so the 3 of you turn the corner, several paces behind the Lord and his retinue, and you come out into like the passage around the side opens out into a massive barracks and staging ground. This is something that the Lion take particularly seriously as part of their castles and their sort of their displays of, like, you know, the crane and the scorpion highly value, like, the aesthetics of their castles with these magnificent gardens and things like that. Lion has staging grounds, and he stops and he gestures out over the staging ground, and he says, "Behold, my glorious legion." And in the staging ground, you see the worst ranks of soldiers you've ever seen. It looks like a rabble. They are, like, most of them are on the ground, vomiting, rolling around in their own filth. Just more of what you've seen. They don't look dead. They look worse than death. Worse than the poor guy on the card of fate, worse than death. This is no display, and it's, 100 samurai just baking in the sun. It is a truly horrifying display.
Is it just they're just them just hanging out there and that's it? There's no one else around besides just the samurai?
No, you don't see any servants.
And I guess the only other person who's actually walking around right now, I guess, is Kenji, huh?
Yep, and the 6 samurai that are with him, but they don't look much better. They're just able to stand.
Truly a fighting force reputable of lions. Yeah. Worthy of lion's reputation, my lord. Or Lord Kitsu. They look ready for battle.
Thank you, Bayushi-san.
Have you had any guests recently, my Lord Kitsu?
No, you're the first in a long, long time. I'm very pleased that you're here. Come, we will set you up with lodging. And he turns and he makes his way towards a side door, which is just left open.
Sayaka sets her feet shoulder width apart, looks at both of you, and goes, "Uh-uh."
I would tend to agree with Sayaka here. So the samurai who are just like out in like the sun, they're just like sitting there. Like, are they do look actually alive though?
Yes. They don't look, they're not rotting, they don't look undead, they just look horrific in terms of condition. But not unnatural, like in the sense of, the horrors you've seen on the wall,
They just look super sick.
Yes. Beyond anything you've seen, in a normal sense. So somewhere in between the extremes of what Sayaka is used to and what Takuma is used to. Probably what all Scorpion look like on the inside.
Oh no.
So Sayaka has said,
I'm also going to agree with Sayaka here. I feel like we need to investigate further before we walk into this death trap. Something is amiss.
Lord Kitsukinji,
he has already gone inside.
in that case, let us retire to the village. Maybe he won't notice we've left.
Maybe he will.
Man. My curiosity.
You can question the samurai here. She holds a sleeve to her face, so she's breathing through the fabric.
Yeah, I should mention the smell in this place is worse than a septic tank.
I already come with a mask. Hey.
You do. Go chat with the plague rats.
I will go back to the staging ground.
You're here.
Yeah, we're still there.
Oh. Well, then Sammy will go out and find one that looks like he wants to talk.
None of them want to talk.
Aw.
Just find one whose mouth is mostly not full of vomit right now.
You don't
Hey, you
find
know what? Let me see if I can help with that. Hang on, I have a thing.
Mhm.
I'm going to use Path to Inner Peace on one of them and try and make him feel better. Fatigue is basically the wound penalty score, right?
Yes.
Okay. So she's going to holding her sleeve over her nose. With the other hand, she's going to do this TN2 theology check to see if she can make one of them feel better.
Okay.
Okay, TN2 water. 2.
Please take note of how many strife you get on this roll.
Okay. 100%. Yeah. Okay. Well, could be worse. Oh, good. Okay, this is great. So, I'm going to keep the 6 and the 10. So that's, and I'm going to re-roll that 6. Oops, yeah, d6. Will more successes? No, more successes won't help me. So I would like to bonus successes. So I'm going to take 1 strife from the 6, and I'm going to use that extra opportunity to try and remove, if I can tell what condition he has, I'd like to try and remove a condition from him, like dazed or disoriented, if he seems either of those.
Okay. So you get out your equipment and you invoke the water kami to heal one of the men in front of you. And
Mm-hmm.
as you do so, the water kami, there's none to be found. Like, essentially, you go to cast this spell, and not only, and like, normally that doesn't really stop anything. Water can be found anywhere, from the air, from whatever. But as you cast the spell, you feel something inside you break, and water begins to pull out of your body itself.
Oh, wow.
Your skin begins to wrinkle and crack as you cast this invocation. And instead of healing the samurai, you are going to take as many successes as you keep on as fatigue damage to yourself. Something has corrupted your invocation.
Okay, so I kept 2 successes, so I take 2 fatigue.
Yes.
Okay.
And both of you see the water begin to pool at Sayaka's feet and stain the ground from her body.
She just kind of goes, ah!
Was that supposed to happen?
No! No! Absolutely not. There are no kami
I think
here.
that we leave this place as soon as we can. This place is rotten.
Please, I would like to leave right now.
What do you do, Sammy?
You two go ahead. I'm gonna question this guy first. I'll be right behind you.
I'm not
Bye.
sure if you're going to get any answers from this person, unless you mean Kenji.
Unless I mean what?
Unless you mean Lord Kenji or Lord Kitsu.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Baisha Seme-san, that does not seem like a good idea to leave you here alone. There are over 100 dying men here. They could just sit on you.
No, but they don't look... They do not look like they are ready for confrontation.
If you tripped and fell, they could just fall on top of you. There are so many. Please ask quickly, and I will remain here, wishing we were gone.
You can start walking and I'll be right behind you.
It's gonna give him a sideways glance and
In the distance, all three of you hear the sound of rusty grinding.
She looked at Takuma like, what do you think that is?
I don't intend to stay to find out right now. I think it's best that we go back to the village and search for some answers before we attempt to take this on. And I'll start making my way back from the way we came.
All right. So, Takuma, as you turn the corner, you hear a large as the gates of the castle have closed.
Oops.
I'm just gonna scratch my head for a second and then turn back to Same.
He's like, go ahead, okay, go ahead and ask, since we're here.
And Seimei will begin, basically look at this soldier in front of him, just say, "Can you hear me and understand me? What day is it today?"
Does not respond in any kind of lucid way.
Well, that's my question. And looks like we're trapped in here.
It's quite the poignant question, Same-san.
Well, I wanted to check to see if he was lucid first.
There are no water kami around. There are air kami, but they are trapped
And so are we,
around
it seems.
the walls. And we're not interested in being distracted. I'm afraid to use any of my... I'm afraid that to use any of my techniques or invocations would be a very poor choice.
Looking around, do I see any other ways out besides just the main gate? Like any doors or anything like that?
Not that you can see.
May I suggest we look and see if we can find a shrine and perhaps upend whatever magics have been tainted here?
Well, it looks like the only way that we can do that is by going forward.
I think you're correct.
Going forward where?
I'm gonna point my Tetsubo at the door that Kitsu Kenji went through, or Kitsu Kenji went through.
Can we make... Is there like an architecture check that we could do to try and guess where we could find some kind of a shrine?
I believe that is a design.
Okay. And can we make an artisan check without having a rank in that skill?
What are you rolling for?
Basically to try and find our way through this place.
Artisan's not going to help you with that.
Okay.
I'm of the mind that we actually probably need to go inside that castle, whether we want to or not.
Seems we have no choice right now.
You could try hoisting me up over the wall.
I'm sorry.
The wall is very high.
Sorry, I was kidding. If Seimei stands on Takuma's shoulders and I stand on Seimei's shoulders, can I get over the wall?
No.
Just checking.
The walls are specifically built for people not to get over the walls.
In which case, Seimei seems like a good idea.
No. If anything, I would say that we are in luck that we have somebody of the crab here. This seems like odds. This seems like something in their respective knowledge. Wheelhouse, yeah.
Let it never be said that I do not always appreciate your company, Takuma. Or... what's his full name?
Takuma. Go ahead.
Toritaka.
Toritaka Takuma.
I'm just not going to respond and then start walking forward into the hallway or the doorway.
So when you step inside, the first thing that you notice is that there is no lighting.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's natural lighting from outside spilling in, but there doesn't appear to be any lighting set inside. The whole place smells like rotten wood. And you don't see anybody. It's been many moments since you have allowed Kitsu Kenji to walk away.
Is there any way that we can get like a torch or something so we can see better?
Sure. There's lanterns. You can find one and light one. It's not that they're not there. They just not.
Okay, yeah, Sammy will pick up a lantern.
All right, so you light a paper lantern and begin making your way inside. After you enter into, and I mean, lion architecture tends to be very Spartan. It is not very well aesthetically designed at the best of times. It is in severe disrepair. But after a few moments, a weathered old man makes his way around the corner and bows deeply to all of you.
And who might you be?
I am Samura.
And in what capacity are you acting here?
I am the steward of the castle.
Then perhaps you can enlighten us on as to what is going on?
I will show you to your rooms.
What kind of shape does he look like he's in?
Better than most. He turns and begins to make his way deeper into the castle itself.
And what was his name? Sorry.
Samura. Tsumura.
Thank you. What has happened here?
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Why have they closed the gates?
So as to not impinge upon our hospitality.
Where is Lord Kitsu?
He is expecting you.
Please ask the gates be opened.
Come this way.
She's like, well, I tried. I asked politely. I did my job. My job is asking politely.
Eventually, he leads you down a side passage, and you feel that you are very deep in the castle indeed. It's up several stories on the third story, and there's one hallway up on the side, and a series of 3 rooms, which he slides the doors open, one in turn.
May I ask where Lord Kitsu is?
He is in the audience chamber.
Then perhaps we can go there before we retire to our rooms for the night.
Only after you refresh yourselves.
I want to refresh myself.
I am refreshed.
He looks at you. I think not, grandson.
I'm just gonna.
He gestures down the hallway, around the corner, like off in a direction you can't see. The bathhouse is that way. And he begins to shuffle past all of you. Leaving you in utter darkness except for Samei's lamp.
Did he go in the same direction as the bathhouse?
No, he went in the direction that you came from.
No. Well, fuck that. I'm not going there.
Sayaka is standing there like, I do not want a bath.
You actually probably do very much.
Not here. She does not want these baths. She wants all the other baths.
Well, we can take our chances and try to find, I guess, whatever, the waiting room or whatever, audience room, and find Kitsu or explore.
I suspect we should find out why we are wanted to refresh ourselves. I do not think we will like the answer.
Probably to get us separated and to get us... giving out clan secrets here.
Do you startle easy, Bayushi-san?
No.
Who asked you that?
Yeah, did he come back to ask that?
That's a completely different voice.
Oh. Samei looks, trying to cut his eyes at the voice.
There is no discernible source of this voice.
Great, a peeping Tom. I'm not taking a bath.
Y'all haven't even gone to the bathhouse. It's way over there. On the other
It's right
side.
over there. I know. This is a mental note she's making to herself.
I don't believe in baths.
So
Perhaps
then, go ahead.
Did either of you hear someone ask Seimei a question?
Mm-hmm.
I guess what we have?
Yes.
Okay.
All of you heard the voice, and it sounded like it was someone standing in your midst. But when you look around, you don't see anybody.
Perhaps I can find another lantern. I would feel better being able to see what I'm stepping in.
I'm gonna tell the voice to show itself.
You hear nothing. You see nothing.
Well, let's start pretending this is Dark Souls and make our way forward.
Can I find a lantern?
Yep. So
And-
I guess we're gonna try to look for the audience room.
Okay.
I think do we want to check out the bathhouse first?
Do you?
Do I have a lantern? Maybe a little peek inside.
When you look in your room, you find that there's a lantern.
I meant, yeah, can she take that and have a peek inside the bathhouse?
So, when you grab the lantern, you light it, and begin making your way out the room, up the hall, and then around the corner. Up ahead, you see a pair of sliding doors that are closed.
Do they look like a bathhouse entrance sliding doors or just like some other room?
Hard to tell. It's
Sure, okay.
unfamiliar architecture.
And did y'all come with me? Or am I by myself? She didn't go very far on her own.
Yeah,
They're still in
Okay.
grabbing distance.
She's like, there's a door here. And then she's going to listen at the door.
No, it is a good distance to the door.
Oh.
You would be moving well out of the way of your friends.
Wait, aren't these paper doors?
They are.
Sammy just pokes 2 holes for his eyes to look.
Destroying infrastructure. We have to
Uh,
go down here if you're gonna do that.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't do that.
I'll go with Sayaka, and I'll follow her to the door, but I'll have my Tetsuko out.
Okay.
This is Sammy. Zame. Think of Zelda and Sammy. Sammy will follow.
Sayaka has like one sleeve over her nose, over her face, just. Mhm.
Okay. So you slide open the door and are immediately met with a burst of hot steam. And immediately both of your lanterns flicker out.
I did that. I am so very sorry, Bayushi Seimei-san.
Are we totally in the dark now?
You are plunged into the pitchiest of blackness.
I slit my sword into Sayaka.
That was not how I was expecting you to end that sentence. Seems fair.
Great.
She closes the door. She's just gonna close the door.
We attempt to relight these lanterns.
So when you go to close the door, you struggle to find it.
Oh boy.
The door is gone, gentlemen.
What do you mean the door is gone? It was just right here in front of you.
If you could just help me with this door. Bayushi Seimei-san. I'm having some difficulty finding the door. It was just here a moment ago, but I appear to have misplaced it. I'm losing things today.
Are you actively searching for the door?
Kind of half-heartedly, like one hand over her nose, holding like. Okay, so she's obviously the best smelling thing in here right now. So she puts one arm over her nose, so like her nose is kind of tucked into the crook of her elbow, and the other hand is reaching out to kind of grope for the door where she swears she last found it.
Mm-hmm.
Her lantern's in the lantern that's gone out is in the hand that's over her nose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You grab something wet.
Oh, uh-huh.
Something soft and wet.
Is it squishy wet, or is it just like...
Is it like...
Spongy. It's spongy wet.
I found something else. Say, my son.
What are you telling me?
It's not the door. It's squishy.
I'm gonna
How
go
much
over.
strife do I take? For
How much
grabbing
strife do you feel like you need?
How much strife do I...
How does 3 stripes sound? Does that sound appropriate?
That sounds about right.
Can I see the other two at all, or no?
No, it is pitch black. You can vaguely, very vaguely make out the outlines of them around
Half
you.
the reason she's making so much noise is so you know where she is when she disappears.
I'm gonna walk over towards them just to make sure that I'm close enough to them.
Oh, you are within touching distance of both of them already.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And you hear a slight as Sak is grasping something.
Oh man, that man took a bath and came out. Oh no.
I'm just gonna have my Tetsubo ready and have it both hands. I'm just ready to swing.
If I so she didn't grab, she just put her hand on something. Found it to be squishy.
Mhm.
You know how, you reach out in the dark and you find something and it's not what you expected, so you kind of feel the area around it?
Mhm.
She wants to try and figure out what it is that she just grabbed instead.
So you pat over the thing that you found,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the vague shape of a person.
Oh, I found someone. It's squishy. Can I find the vague shape of the head?
You
You
can't.
want to?
I just want to know which end it's up.
Is there a way I could try to relight this fucking paper lantern?
You can. Do you want to?
Sam is gonna do it.
So you go about trying to light the lantern, and you find the task to be impossible because the lantern has been completely inundated with steam. However, you're able to pull the candle out from inside of it and pat around for your kindling, and are able to start create a spark and light a candle. And suddenly, in the dimmest of light, you see Sayaka reaching into the darkness and Takuma standing just behind her, looking around intently with his weapon up.
Sammy will stretch in between them and kind of hold the candle out.
She's just gonna close her eyes. Tell me what it is.
Sammy, you see Sayaka patting around a what appears to have once been a mannequin that has gotten pulpy and rotten. There is a kimono torn and moldering on it.
Don't worry, Sayaka. It's just a mannequin.
Can I tell him anything about this kimono from what I can?
It was once in lion colors. It is ruined beyond all use now, and it is positioned directly in front of the door.
Someone's got jokes.
This whole area is very warm. There is still steam emanating from the room itself, making it hazy and difficult to see anything beyond what's directly in front of you.
I'm just gonna push the mannequin down with my Tetsubo.
What an amazing noise. Can I try and commune with the kami here, with the water spirits?
Sure.
Don't die.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. TN1 theology check. Okay. Let's see, where's my thing? 3 and a 2. 7 and an 11. I'm gonna keep the Okay, I'm going to keep the 3 and the 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to use that opportunity to reduce the TN of my next check to interact with water elementals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take that extra strife. What happens once my composure and my strife are the same?
Oh, you are compromised.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to...
Is this going to put you at compromise if you keep it, or?
Yes.
Okay. Then nothing's going to happen on this roll specifically.
Okay. And what happens in the next one?
Anytime after that, once you are compromised, you cannot keep dice with strife symbols.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use that opportunity instead to cancel that strife.
Okay.
Not compromised yet.
And what are you gonna do to commune with the kami? What is the nature of this interaction?
She would like to learn one fact the spirits know about the area.
Okay. So you sit here in the opening of this chamber, unable to see anything really beyond past this weak candle glow. The two of you see the steam begin to roil as Sayaka closes her eyes and begins to entreat the kami of the area. And all at once, in a sudden burst of excitement, the steam coalesces into a screaming face. All of you hear an outright scream, and the face flies into Sayaka, and you're going to take a fatigue of damage.
Something telling me Kami don't like it here.
The kami are, and for you, Sayaka, it is a cacophony of screams. You just the kami are just in pain.
She's
and
going.
your exposed skin is tinged red with the steam burn.
She's going to put her face into her sleeve for a moment.
I already missed the kappa.
Once the invocation ends, the steam returns to normal.
I'm gonna ask her if she learned anything else besides yelling.
No. It seems they're very unhappy.
I would be too if I were living in a lion castle.
One so poorly maintained.
Quite. Can we see anything else in this room besides just haze and?
Not from here.
Okay. And this is supposed to be the bathhouse, I guess.
Yes.
Hopefully we're suitably refreshed and can now approach.
If anything, my pores do feel more open than they were.
I do not think any of us should be hoping that any part of us is any more open right now.
I can tell you a part of me that's more closed.
Which one is that?
No.
The clinch is strong, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we proceed further into the bathhouse, or should we try to go elsewhere?
Have you sufficiently had your peak?
Yes. It is as bad here as I thought. But there does not seem to be anything obvious waiting here that they would wish for us to encounter or speak to.
Alright, then let us see if we can find the audience room.
Okay. So you guys make your way back down the hallway, in the direction that you came, and as you do, all of you hear the slight clack and turn around, and the doors close behind you. The bathhouse.
Good.
Why is that?
I think none should want to go back into that bathhouse.
That seems like a reasonable answer.
If it's
I am-
possible,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, can we pick up another lantern? There was one like laying around.
Yeah, you're able to find one without too much struggle.
Yay! More light than just a candlelight.
We replenish our lanterns.
Mm-hmm. Find new ones eventually.
Mm-hmm. Start searching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the three of you begin to, as you begin to make your way back, you go down the hallway that Samura led you through, and when you get to the stairwell, you find that there is no longer a stairwell. There's just wall where once was a stairwell that you came up.
She says nothing. She considers having a good cry.
Nothing about the way this castle is designed makes any logical sense.
Is there any way to find out if this was an illusion or not?
You can touch it.
Maybe
Sammy
poke
tries
it with a tetsubo instead of touching.
With your
Sammy
hand.
tries to knock on it on the back with the back of his knuckle. Like,
When you wrap the wall, it sounds like a wall.
but we came up the stair.
Mm-hmm.
This is not fun.
Do I notice anything distinct about the wall? I mean, does it look different from the rest of the walls, or is it all kind of
It's indistinguishable
newer?
from the other walls.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my other set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
Writing a letter?
100%. Sitting down, writing a letter to whom it may concern.
I'm done with this.
My expert tracker skill,
Okay.
and see if I can track old shuffly guy.
You cannot.
Okay.
But
Well,
as you turn around to sort of begin looking at that line of reasoning, you find that behind you, on the opposite wall of the way you came in, there's a stairwell leading upwards that was not there before.
I have good news and bad news.
Oh, there's a stairway. Let's go.
Way to take my news, Seimei.
It seems that we have no choice but to follow where this confounded castle wants us to go.
That's what I was basically thinking.
I'm just gonna grunt and start heading begrudgingly towards the stairs.
Sayaka's going in the middle. She's
Sammy
not
will
going
be-
in the back.
Sammy
She's
will
not
be
going
at the
in the
end.
front.
Actually, I forgot something, Vaughn. When you tap the wall, I need you to go ahead and roll me a raw fire check, please.
Oh, raw fire check.
This doesn't seem like the kind of environment we want to be doing anything raw, is all I'm saying. Wrap it up. Ugh.
God damn it.
Well,
No successes.
Okay. Nothing is amiss.
look at all that fire you got. I knew I liked you.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys make your way up and eventually follow the winding halls to a set of doors. And when you open them up, you find the audience chamber in which the Lord Kitsu is sitting on a pillow at the far end, staring blankly ahead of you, like sort of beyond you.
Hello, Kitsu, we finally caught up with you.
Does he say nothing?
He's not saying anything.
Sayaka just kind of glances behind her just because she can't help it.
Mhm.
Like, you know, he's staring off into the distance, and she knows in her heart that he's just staring off into the distance, but, you know, just she has to turn and look behind her just in case.
You see a long hallway that you came down. Out of the corner of your eye, you think you maybe see shadows moving in the distance, but that might just be your mind.
She's going to step aside and position herself in the doorway. Since doors keep closing, she's going to let them talk and just kind of stand in this doorway.
Use her body as a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Human doorstop.
Human doorstop.
You clearly have never seen 13 Ghosts.
Oh, I have never seen 13 Ghosts. No, how does... If I had seen it, what would I remember? Can I do a culture check?
Culture.
I don't have any dots. I'm going to spend a real life void point. Sayaka has dots in culture.
Do you?
I don't. Sayaka does.
Anyway,
Anyway, yes.
So if dude does not say anything, Saime will step forward towards him.
Mhm.
And just call out for the steward. See if he responds.
he does not.
Maybe you can find a key. I guess gates don't open with a key. I guess they open with a bunch of dudes. Never mind.
Saime will snap his fingers in front of the Lord and see what happens.
Did you do it
When
in
you-
a Z shape?
No, Z's not.
When you snap your fingers, you don't seem to snap him out of anything in particular. You can make a medicine check if you want. Now you're close.
Last time I did that, somebody's arm fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, Saime killing lords now. Let's see. Medicine check. So
Go ahead and kill him. You're the captain now. So
looks
much
like
opportunity.
2 successes and 2 opportunity.
It's 1 success, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. Never mind.
Okay. So you sort of examine him now that you're close, snapping your fingers at him. One thing that you notice is that his his vascular system is sort of brightly lit against his skin. Like, it's really noticeable when you get close.
What color are we talking about here?
Blue on black skin, or on white skin.
Like somebody has been draining him, or
No, just it's more noticeable than usual.
oh,
Like there's something in his blood.
like he's been poisoned.
Cursed.
Gotcha.
Stop thinking so Scorpion. It's not all about you all the time. Some people are way worse.
Well, Saime will look back to the group and just say, he is cursed or something. I have no Shigenja, but I would say that would be the closest thing to what's going on with him. I don't think he's going to be responding anytime soon either. He seems rather catatonic.
The Shugenja's over here like that seems like a good guess from here.
We need to find that steward and kill him.
Excuse me.
Ears are gonna perk up at the sound of the word killing.
This is often a very discouraging way to encourage people to help you.
If the steward does not know what's going on here, then he definitely deserves to die, regardless. I'm pretty sure he's part of whatever is happening here.
I think it's very important that we try and find a way out. Perhaps we can bring Lord Kitsu with us.
The gate's closed behind us on the outside. And I don't think moving him with us is a good idea at this point.
Because you do not wish to bring the curse with us?
Simply for his own safety.
I believe his own safety has been more thoroughly compromised than any of us are quite prepared to deal with. I do not think we need to worry too much for his safety. And if we do, getting him out of here would certainly be more beneficial to him than leaving him in all of this mess. Don't you think?
I'd be more inclined if we actually had a way out.
Well, you should try rousing him. See if he gets up.
Why don't you
Give him a good shake.
Give him a good shake.
My arms are numb right now. Can you?
I lost my arms in the war. I'm holding the door open.
Seimei would touch him on the shoulder. Try to shake him.
He drools a little bit, but otherwise does not respond.
Yep. He's
Just
not
kinda
on this plane of existence.
coax him a little.
Are you suggesting that I punch him?
That's not how you coax someone.
There is nothing else that is going to rouse him.
You know, set a hand on his back and pull him gently by the arm, as you would a small child who is sleepy.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk over to this, and I'm just gonna push him with my Tetsubo.
He slumps to the floor.
She makes a mental note to warn whoever Takuma marries not to let him handle small children. But she keeps that thought to herself.
Just in case he wakes up.
The children will hold their own when.
Just in case he wakes up and actually has cognition and is himself. Seimei's just gonna make sure that he's resting on a pillow.
He doesn't wake up.
I know, but for whenever he's like, who the fuck put me on the fucking floor?
So what do you do?
We need to go looking for the steward.
Or an exit.
I think both options are wise.
So, to sort of montage, the three of you begin to make your way around, exploring every passage that you can. You feel like this place is winding around on the inside on you. I mean, it's very evident that you're sort of going in massive circles. And after what feels like hours, you eventually come back to the hallway in which the 3 doors rest.
We should wait. The 3 doors of the bathhouse or the 3 doors of the audience chamber?
The 3 doors to your rooms around the corner,
Oh.
which is the bathhouse.
Oh, much worse.
And you're pretty sure you didn't come like down ever
Mm-hmm.
to get here.
Sayaka looks at you both and then is going to go and listen at the door to the middle room. Just for a moment. Looks a little defeated. Did she hear anything?
You hear the sound of what appears to be something that you're familiar with in the academies of the Phoenix. It sounds like somebody very frustrated with some sort of learning that they're doing. Cursing the kami and such.
She knocks very quietly.
The sound immediately stops.
Excuse me.
Nobody responds.
She waits a moment and then knocks again, and if there's no response, she will slide open the door.
When you slide open the door, the room is empty, unattended. It is furnished, but again, that same state of disrepair that the rest of the castle is in.
And there's no one here.
Not that you can see.
She's gonna see if she can find a light and light the.
You're carrying a lantern.
I mean, like, is there a lantern set up in here to be lit?
It would be this lantern that you have in your hand.
Okay. She sets it on whatever table she can find.
Mm-hmm.
And says, I'm going to have some tea. Would you like to join me, gentlemen? Baishu Seimei?
I was still muted.
She looks around. They're not there. They're both gone.
Right? I was like, oh, okay.
In the darkness.
So wait, do I...
No, I mean, I'm not going to indulge in any tea, but I'll just nod knowingly.
Oh, well, she has a portable tea kit. Does that include water?
It does not.
You don't want to use this water over here.
That's fine. I'm gonna just make some tea. I'll get some water from the bathhouse. That's great. There's nothing wrong with this. This is not a terrible idea.
Sammy's gonna enter his room, I guess.
Mhm.
Check it out, like go and check it out.
So when you slide open the door, Sam, the only thing that you see in this room are literally 4 walls. There's nothing in here. No furniture, nothing.
And let me guess, if I turn around, the door's gone.
No,
There's furniture in my room. I guess I should have checked.
there is.
Sammy will go over to Takuma's room, open that door.
That door, or that room, is pretty well appointed. Has a bed, table.
And how much more pointed is Sayaka's room?
About the same.
I guess fuck me, right? Well, all I have is 4 walls. kind of floor?
I mean, nobody assigned you rooms.
Chia is would like to go into that room, the one with nothing in it, and see if she can search the room, check the walls.
Okay.
Do I need to roll anything, or can I just...
You would need to roll a... Hang on. Let me look.
Man, I'm looking at this. I have no idea. I can't even guess what the fuck you would investigate with. Maybe a skullduggery check?
No. Hang on.
To find hidden things?
Ooh. Let me see. It would be courtesy. The skullduggery, yes.
Oh, 10 points for me. And can I roll it if I don't have any dots in trade? Is that just for scholar stuff, or is that for everything you need to spend a void point to get a dot?
You can spend a void point to get a skill rank in anything, but nothing is stopping you from rolling.
Oh, I can just roll a straight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel like innovate is really the only thing that makes sense to try and figure out where a trap or something hidden might be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay. I'll keep all of them. 2 successes.
Okay. So as you search the room, you find a small trapdoor on the wall.
Yee! She's going to take out her fancy sword
Oh, really? Your wakizashi?
and use it to open the door.
Your purified weapon?
I guess I shouldn't use my purified weapon. Okay, I'm going to use my knife. I do have a knife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my knife.
So you pry open the trapdoor, and you find a crawl space in the wall.
I found something small and poorly lit.
The crawl space appears to be moving.
Oh, moving is much worse, Andrew. What do you mean moving? What do you mean moving?
Pulsing?
Like the walls?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go over to Sayaka at this point and ask her what's what she's found over there.
She's standing there, like she's standing here by this with like the door is like she's holding the door by her knife, like she doesn't want to touch it, and like looks like she's really just like steeling herself to slam it shut. Like she just doesn't quite have the willpower to slam it shut yet. And she's just, when he gets over there and peeks, what does he do? Does he come over and peek inside? She is clearly rattled.
I guess I'll take a look and see what's going on inside this little crawl space here. But,
So when you get down and have a peek inside, you're fairly certain that the wood itself is pulsing, as though like a heartbeat is moving through it.
Oh. Cool.
But it is much too small for the likes of you to get through this crawl space.
me specifically.
You are very large.
Oh yes, but I meant what about
When you look back,
Sayaka
as
is
though
like
she's
turning the
read
corner
your mind,
out the door.
Sayaka has like stepped to the other side of the room, buried both hands in her sleeves, and is just unleashing. What do you call it? She's
Like-
having a moment. She's like, no,
Unmasking.
unmasking. She's unmasking into her sleeve with quite a lot of enthusiasm.
She looks like a ghost out of the Grudge at the moment. Pale white.
Can I go ahead and take off that strife since she is not quite
Screaming
vomiting?
no at nobody.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just because we can doesn't mean we should. Speaking about
Sorry.
herself in third person.
Sayaka is having a moment. What do you do, Takuma?
I'm gonna see if I can find like anything, like like a loose stone or something, or something to like kind of throw into the crawl space and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you go back into one of the other rooms and fetch a rotten table leg or something.
Yeah. And I'll actually before I throw it in, I'll try poking the walls of the crawl space.
You hear a thump, like you would kind of expect, but it does like you feel the push against it, as though something's beating on the other side.
I'll see what happens if I just chuck it into the crawl space now.
Okay, so you toss the
Kind of just like underhand toss it like a.
yeah, you toss the leg down the length of the crawl space, and it clatters at the far end. Nothing seems amiss.
So I'm gonna look at Sayaka for a second and see that she's still crying,
She's not. She's wiping her eyes and apologizing.
and then I'm gonna look over at Seimei and see if they're of equivalent size.
So you get for going to do your laundry, Vaughn. You get sent into the crawl space.
I don't think he's back yet, though.
I
Unfortunately,
don't think so either.
it's terrible.
It is terrible.
It's a shame.
I just
Really.
want you to know that at church, this is how we volunteer people. We call them afterward and say, you weren't there, so you're the head of the committee.
I'm back. What happened?
So
Oh,
while you were gone, I searched this room and managed to find a crawl space. A small crawl space. And
Claustrophobic is the word.
I'm too large.
he is too large to fit into it, and the walls appear to be throbbing with some sort of heartbeat. And Sayaka had herself a little moment.
She unmasked.
Yes.
Screamed no a bunch at the top of her lungs. Cried a little bit.
Mhm.
It's now profusely apologizing in the corner, wiping her eyes.
If it's any comfort, say, Mason, I touched the side of the walls and nothing's appeared to happen.
Oh, I feel much better. So much, in fact, I am going to go.
You're gonna go what?
he walks out the door back towards one of the other rooms.
He's like, well, that's relief. Bye.
No. Ooh, the spice hit me in the throat.
Okay.
Yeah. Sammy's gonna go in the crawl space, I guess.
So you go to get into the crawl space, and you find that with your armor, you just can't really fit. It's close.
Is it because I have armor on?
Might be.
If anything tries to grab me, please grab my ankles and pull me back.
Don't
I
worry,
would
Sayaka.
appreciate it.
I got this.
Oh,
Sammy's gonna take his armor off.
Okay.
And he's gonna go inside. He's gonna put his dagger or his knife in his mouth between his teeth.
well, while he's taking his armor off,
Oh
And
wait,
wha-
no, I have a mask on. Never mind.
while he's like getting ready to go in there without his armor on, she's like coming over and leaning over and being like, "But where do you think you're going to go?"
I don't know. But this seems to be this is the only way forward.
That's technically not true.
Maybe we should just close it and not stay in this room. Maybe the other rooms have nice crawl spaces.
Oh, okay. Sammy puts his armor back on.
She helps.
Well, no one can ever say I was a coward.
You were very brave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go to the other room and see if I can examine the one that was supposed to be mine, quote unquote, and see if there's anything going on in there of any particular note.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a skullduggery check.
Skullduggery. Something I do not do.
Sayaka is muttering something about mouths.
It's gonna go ahead and check the room that she was in initially.
Yeah. Should I make another skullduggery check?
I guess I do.
Actually, I'm gonna give it to you for free. As you search the room, Sayaka, eventually you come across a loose floorboard.
She'll wait to see what he finds before she pries it up. She just sits on it. Just so nothing comes through. While he does that. Oh.
All right, so I have a. I'm gonna keep the 5, 6, 3,
Keep all of them.
and oh yeah, I can actually keep everything. Sure.
You have to.
Yeah, I had to. So that's 3 successes.
Mhm.
3 successes, and that's a 0 on and 1 strife.
So you search your room and you don't find anything out of place. However, you are fairly certain that you can hear the rhythmic thump, 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 thump behind the walls. You can hear it. It's back there.
This doesn't seem like a good place to sleep.
found a loose floorboard.
Oh, good.
I guess I'll head over to Sayaka after hearing her say that.
You see Sayaka sitting on the floor
I'll go ahead and go over
in the
to
middle of this room.
Sitting politely. She looks comfortable, but she's got both hands pressed against the floor like it might help keep the floor down.
I guess I'll go over to the floorboard and see if I can pry it open.
She will move and let you do that.
Yeah, it comes out easily.
What do I see?
Inside, you find a object that is wrapped in dusty cloth, about the size of a book.
She's going to give you her knife to unwrap it with.
Sure, I'll pull it out and unwrap it with a knife, not with my hands.
It is, in fact, a book.
I'll present the book to Sayaka because I don't know what to do with this thing.
She takes it gingerly and opens to page 1.
It appears to be some sort of journal.
Oh, good. What does it say?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to spend some time with this.
She says, if you don't mind, I will spend a little time reading. If I start to mumble to myself, please interrupt me.
Up for a game of Go? Takuma?
I'm just gonna raise an eyebrow at him and just sit down and just inspect my Tetsubo instead.
So,
Seimei goes in the corner and plays with himself.
Wrap it up, Seimei, not in here.
So Sayaka, you spend approximately 5 hours reading this journal.
Oh, wow.
It appears to be a journal of Kitsu Satori.
Oh.
And it is filled with all sorts of vehement hatred of her family, as you might well expect, especially after her father passed her for inheritance. And then the last thing it mentions, it doesn't mention anything with blood magic, but the last thing that it mentions is an interesting discovery about a forgotten Shugenja that participated in the fall of Shiro Hiruma in Crablands Daylight Castle. And the connection to a hideously powerful Oni, of which there is no name.
She is going to read that last part out loud and look up to see if Takuma recognizes that story.
I guess I'll do a history check and see if I can remember anything about the Hiruma.
You don't need to. You know very well that Shiro Hiruma, also known as Daylight Castle, was once sort of along the forward defenses of the crab borders. And when a Oni, a very well-known Oni lord called the Maw, attacked the crab in the early centuries of the Empire, it basically wiped out Shiro Hiruma along with all of its defenders. You don't know anything specifically about any particular Shugenja of distinction that was there. You assume that there were Shugenja there, but the Kuni family, but you're not entirely sure of, there aren't really any stories of any particular heroics from them. But you do know that it survived the siege from the Maw for a while. Basically, the Maw passed it up, and then the forces of the Shadowlands overran it afterwards. The Maw was the reason why the Kuni lands are a wasteland now after they performed a horrendously powerful spell to take it out. And the current borders of the Crab Clan are there because of the Maw. But the demon is not mentioned as the Maw, the Oni, that is in this book. It seems to be different. It is, she calls it the Taker of Names.
All right. Well, I guess I'll relay that impart my knowledge of this story to the rest of them, so they are aware of what's going on here. And I'll ask Sayaka if she sees anything else in there that maybe can explain what's going on currently in the castle.
Basically, Sakori thought that this demon, this Oni, might be a path to great power. And was something of an obsession in the final pages, it would seem, before abruptly ending roughly about 2 years prior to the current day.
Well, we have enough proof to burn the castle down.
I already had that proof. But
For the record, this is not that castle.
Oh. Well, I still had enough proof.
This is not Shirahuruma. Currently, Daylight Castle is in the Shadowlands.
Yes.
Lost to the Shadowlands.
Sorry, one moment.
So, I guess by the way the journal goes is that this person left the castle here?
Yes. Well, it doesn't specifically mention leaving. It just abruptly ends one day.
What's the date, or how long ago would that be?
About 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
She also expresses a lot of discouragement in the proper ways of dealing with Kami, which makes sense given that she's taken to blood magic.
Perhaps that's why the Kami here seem to be so pained. She's probably still here.
Who's still here?
Was that a courtier?
Is there...
The courtier that wrote the journal?
Shugenja,
excuse me.
Kitsu Sakura.
Isn't Sakura the one that was on the boat?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I have to go. I just got a call, and I need to go talk to my family.
No, that's a good place to stop anyway.
I'm really sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
No problem.
Hope everything-
I will talk to you all later.